मेरे वालों गुरजोत सिंह सोडी वालों आप सब का स्वागत है। रेडियो हाँ जी इस वक्त एक स्पैशल रिपोर्ट तुहाडे लई लैके हाज़री लवा रहे हैं। जदों गल आउंदी है आस्ट्रेलिया की तो अक्सर ही असीं गल करते हैं कि आस्ट्रेलिया दे विच पंजाबी कदों कदे आया। वैसे आप बहुत बारी इस रिपोर्ट के उत्ते इन्हां गल्लां बातां दे उत्ते चर्चा कर चुके हैं कि 1800 सन दे विच लगभग जदों बरतानिया आस्ट्रेलिया दे विच आउंदा है तो पंजाबियां नूं नाल लैके आउंदा है। कई कहंदे ने कि पंजाबी इस करके आए सीगे कि वो इत्थे वपार कर रहे सन। इस तरह दियां बहुत सारियां कहानियां सामने आईयां, कई सच्चाइयां सामने आईयां, वैगन्स सामने आईयां जिन्हां नूं असीं फड़ियां या रेहड़ियां कह सकते हैं, जिन्हां दे उत्ते पुराने समय दे विच घोड़ियां दे मगर ला के टांगे नुमा ये बणियां शैवां जिन्हां नूं घोड़ियां दे नाल हिक्किया जांदा सी ते एक प्यारा जिहा सरदार उस दे उत्ते बैठा हुंदा सी जो गली गली जाके मुहल्ले मुहल्ले जाके जिहड़े कि उस वक्त दूर दराडियां दे विच वसदे सन उन्हां नूं समान वेचदे सी। 1897 ईस्वी दे विच सेवा सिंह नाम का एक व्यक्ति जो पाकिस्तान के गुजरात इलाके तो आस्ट्रेलिया दे विच आउंदा, आस्ट्रेलिया दे विच आके एक लम्मा समा अपना जीवन बतीत करता है। इस दरम्यान जिथे वो समान वेचदा है आस्ट्रेलिया दे नाल एक वक्खरी जी सांझ भी बनाउंदा है। इस सांझ दे विच बहुत कुछ है, उस दियां बनाईयां प्रॉपर्टीज़ ने, उसका कीता काम है, पर एक खास काम सेवा सिंह हमेशा करता रहा। सेवा सिंह नूं जाणिया जांदा सीगा एक पाठी सिंह के तौर पर। जदों भी कदे कोई खुशी या गमी का मौका आउंदा ते सिख भाईचारे दे विचों जे किसी पाठी सिंह नूं बुलाया जांदा ते ओह सी सेवा सिंह ते उस कोल सी धन धन श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब। बिल्कुल दोस्तों, मैं दोबारा दोहराना चाहूँगा, धन धन श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब। आपां इस तो पहलां भी गल कर चुके हैं कि श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब का पहला प्रकाश बनेला दे विच होया सी। विक्टोरिया बनेला एक छोटा जिहा शहर, बहुत सारिया इदां दीयां गल्लां होर भी ने बनेला शहर दे नाल। सेवा सिंह दा ते इस वैगन दा की रिश्ता है ते की रिश्ता है धन धन श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब दा इस सारी कहानी दे विच।
This is a 100-year-old, was over 100 years old wagon. It was owned by Sewa Singh from up Panama Way. He was a hawker, and excuse me, he was a hawker, and he also owned property around the area. But I'm particularly interested in this wagon because he carried the Grand Sahib in it. Sewa acted as a priest, and he also had the first reading of the Grand Sahib in Australia on his property in Manila. And because of that, it's quite significant. But this wagon is unique. It's falling apart. In about the 1930s, the horse bolted, and he hit a branch of the tree and it's put it all out of square. You can see that. But after I've cleaned it all up, I've been in consultation with Sovereign Hill in Ballarat, and they specialise in restoring and building wagons, not preserving wagons. I don't think they've ever done that. There is a difference.
Lynn, before we go ahead with the wagon, as you said, he was priest and he was carrying Guru Granth Sahib. As being a Sikh, it's we have a significant importance when it comes to our holy Granth.
Yes, I understand.
As you saying, do we have any sort of, if I say, proofs for that, or how, on what grounds you are saying this?
Well, I have no actual proof that he actually carried it in the wagon. But he had a property in Benalla that was broken into, and he had a room in there where he kept the Grand Sahib. And he was out in his wagon working for weeks on end, and the Grand Sahib wasn't in his prayer room, and that was mentioned in the court case particularly. And so the only other place it could have been, because he was the only active Sikh in the area at that time, was in his wagon. And anecdotally, you'd say that he would have had the Grand Sahib with him. There's shelves up on the top of there on the inside where he could have carried it and been quite respectful for it. And it would make sense that when he went to cremations in outlying areas, there was no public transport, and this is before cars had become popular. He would have gone in his horse and cart, because we've got references for him at cremations and that sort of thing. So it's quite obvious he carried it in the wagon, and because he was involved in the importation and reading of the first Akan path in Australia, we haven't known Akan path. We haven't found any done earlier, that it's obvious that he acted as a priest and that he was respected within the community, not just the Indian community, but in the whole community.
Yeah. So, Lynn, as we'll have a round and have a look around this wagon. Yeah. So I can see, please.
I'll start from here. Yep. This is the side of the wagon. He carried his goods in there, or in the little pigeonholes. This is an attachment that's going to come out. He had canvas, and you can see, and underneath the canvas was those Baltic wall boards there, and they were put over the top, and the canvas was impregnated with bitumen paint. They still use that now, and you can see that all the nail holes where it was nailed into the wood there, and the canvas acted as a hinge to lift it out, and that's the attachment there. You can see where the wood's hooked to it on this one here, and you can see where they're hinges, and the hinges go on that board when it's put in the right position, and it lifts up.
Yeah. So it's been in a, like, really, if I can say, it's in like a really, at the moment, it's really bad position. But do we have all the wheels and stuff with that?
No, we've got tyres, the outside tyres, the metal that goes around the wheels. There's the hubs. Yeah. And what we'll have to do with that is we're going to build a stainless steel frame, respectfully, and have the stainless steel frame like they do with the Viking ships, and have the wagon supported and sometimes suspended by the frame, and we'll also use the frame to, as far as possible, bring it back into square. Yeah. If I put that on and tried to pull it now, when I took take the straining, the chains off, it'd spring back. But when we get the permanent stainless steel frames that go around, we can just slowly tighten the screws a little bit at a time over a period of time. But the problem is, you don't know when you've gone too far and you might break it. So we've got to be very, very careful. But the whole lot's got to be pulled back. Like you can see the angle of that, that's got to be pulled up to make it respectable.
And at the down, I can see there's a shoe kind of.
Yeah, he used that for his brake. That's his brake. Just be careful. That'll really break that wood. When a horse wagon's going downhill, you have to use the brake to steady the wagon running up the horse's bum. Okay. You use it not like a car now, but you use it, and the horse will pull back, but on the harness if they have it. Sometimes Indians didn't use the proper straps. They just depended on the brake, and as they're going down the hill, they just feather the brake so that the wagon doesn't catch up to the horse. And when they stop on a hill incline, they lock the brake in.
So we'll keep moving and have a look inside.
This is these drawers around the back. Got to clean these up.
So ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੋਸਤੋ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੈਗਨ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਮ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੈਗਨਸ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੌਕਰਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੇਖ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਮਾਨ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਸਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਵੇਚਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਮਾਨ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਗਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸੇਵਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਗਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹ ਘੋੜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ। Lynn, this thing, I'm pretty interested in this. What is this?
That hooks on here. Hang on, I'll shut this door so I can show you. It hooks onto those two hooks there, and you can see the two holes down there, and it goes under there, and it carried chaff, and not chaff but straw and hay and that sort of thing for fodder for it.
Oh yeah.
And because
so je main galat nahi sorry,
go on.
I'm just speaking a bit of translation. So je main galat nahi dosto, is cheez de utte ਘਾਹ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਮਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ, ਹੀਰ ਰੱਖੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੇਠਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੱਖ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ। ਬੜੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੈਗਨਸ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। So if we move,
there was one thing we got to put back in. We've spoken to Ballarat Sovereign Hill. They've advised us on how the best way to preserve metal and to preserve wood, and it's and we've got supply of the chemicals we have to use. And Chris will tell you later, there's places here where I can do with cotton buds, like I was doing that, and just washing it. It's all got to be washed down twice with cotton buds and the chemicals, and then I've got to go over it and paint it, and the cotton buds cleans it, and then I'll go over and have to paint it with this solution, both the metal and the woodwork, and that will preserve it. Hopefully preserve it. It's like they do in galleries and that sort of thing with art galleries, and it's time consuming, but it's. My bit's all right. Chris with the cotton buds is going to be really different.
For sure. So we can. I just really interested. There is a place where his name is written. Actually, नाम लिखा हुआ दोस्तों. हालांकि तुहानू नजर नहीं आऊगा, पर इसनू हौली-हौली ज्यों-ज्यों साफ किया जाऊगा, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ कि सेवा सिंह ये नाम लिखा होएगा. सो अपनी वैगन दे उत्ते, अपनी इस घोड़ा गड्डी दे उत्ते, इस समान बेचण वाली पूरी दी पूरी दुकान दे उत्ते सेवा सिंह दा नाम जिहड़ा लिखा हो सकदा. जिवें मैं लगा होया जिंदरा देख रहा, जरूर इहदे विच किते ना किते थोड़ा बहुत पैसा धेला जिहड़ा वा रखिया जांदा होऊगा अंदरले पासे. सो इट्स लुक लाइक some safe here. You put some money here.
They had. He wouldn't have put it in that, but he would have had a hidden compartment in the shelving up inside. That was even under the floor. He's got compartments under the floor that's not outwardly visible, and most hawkers' wagons, I've got the other wagon we've got, it's got the same, and they'd hide the money and jewellery or whatever valuables would be on the inside in a secret compartment.
So Puneet, please अगर तुसी अंदरले पासे दोस्तां नूं दिखाओ कि ये वो जगह है जिस दे विच सेवा सिंह रात बराते सौंदे रहे ने रस्ते दे विच खड़ी करके. So he used to sleep in there.
Yes, he used to. He was only a small man, jockey size, about that big, and he'd sleep in there. And you got to imagine, he went through his whole life in Australia. He never had a bed except in there. He never had a chair to sit in. He ate all his meals outside if he wasn't with friends, and it was a really lonely and hard life. I've done it in a wagon, closing a wagon like this, and I was over 2 stone, and I haven't got 2 stone device. And these chaps done it 30, 40, 50 years at a time. How they did it, I do not know. Do not know. That's the brake I was telling you about before, and you can see how it works. See the switch back.
दिखाने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि ब्रेक हाथ दे नाल जिहड़ी है ब्रेक दे नाल पैरां दे नाल ब्रेक जिहड़ी लाई जांदी है. सो उस समय दे विच पुनीत ये वो ब्रेक आ मैं थोड़ी जी एक बार फिर दोस्तां नूं ला के दिखावां थल्लों चलदी भी देख सकणगे कि ब्रेक जिहड़ी है किस तरीके नाल उस समय चलाई जांदी सी जदों ढलान तो ये वैगन जिहड़ी है पिछां नूं जांदी है घोड़ियां दे विच ना वज जावे. सो इस दा बचाव जिहड़ा रखिया जांदा. दोनों ही तरफ के उत्ते असीं देख सकते हैं कि शूज़ जिहड़े लगे ने.
The wheel would come out here, and one of his old boots, one on each side, has nailed down onto that, and that would come up and go against the wheel, and that acted as the brake.
जो सारे दा सारियां चीज़ां इन्हां दे कोल आउंदियां ने कल्ली चीज़ सानू डिटेलिंग करना चाहुंदे ने. सो यही एक चीज़ मैं देख रहा कि इन्हां दे काम दी जिहड़ी बरीकी है. सो देखते हैं कि सानू दसना चाहुंदे ने.
This is the back wheel, and you can see there the wood that's on the other one, and the wooden frame, and then there's wooden spokes go off, and they go into the hub over there. The front wheels are the same, but they're just a little bit smaller. But they're very solid. You can see that they're very solid.